What's up, race fans, and welcome to another episode of the Pecino Report. This is the podcast with information straight out of the brain hole of the master himself, Manuel Pecino, all for you. That's him right there. So we are episode 16, 2021. So this is the Joe Roberts episode, Smoking Joe Jr. I wonder if Zenu's been to come and pick him up yet. That might be what he's doing on these summer holidays. Well, but we're 9 rounds in. We've just had a race in Assen, and wow, that was an exciting race. It was absolutely fantastic. Before we cut over to the master himself, Andra, did you watch the race? What did you think?
Of course I did, because already it's what we're recording now and it's Friday night. And first thing this morning, you wake up and you go, no racing. What am I going to do? What can I watch? What can I go back at? Oh my God. No, but I'm very good. I'm COVID vaccinated. Woo-hoo! Had my second needle, so look out, world.
Vamos.
So, Stu, are you vaccinated?
No, unfortunately, I'm not vaccinated. Look at me, I'm all unvaccinated. I'm a dirty transmitter. No, here in Brisbane where we are, there's a distinct shortage of vaccinations. Because I'm under 60, only a little bit, as you can tell. Yep, then I can't get the AstraZeneca vaccine, and we're running out of the Pfizer vaccine, so I have to wait my turn, unfortunately.
You need to get that so we can go visit Manuel.
Indeed,
then he can't come to Thailand to see
exactly.
I'm sorry, Stu. I'm sorry.
And how are you, Manuel?
I am fantastic. First, I have to say that we are in delay to record this because we were expecting some news to come out in Tuesday.
Indeed.
Today's Friday, but things didn't happen as we expected. So sorry for the delay, but there was a reason.
That's right. So look, before we get into that, there is definitely a lot to talk about today. We're on a summer holiday, but you wouldn't know it. There's always so much more to talk about with the summer silly season. Before we get to that, quick recap of last week. So we had the race in Assen last week. You were there, weren't you, El Jefe? What was the atmosphere like? What was the crowd like? What did you think of the racing?
The atmosphere was, Assen normally is like a barbarian camp. Yeah, because there are a lot of tents and fires and people drunk, and it's like. But this time there were spectators allowed, but not camping around the track.
I noticed nobody was wearing shirts. Every time they showed the crowd, they're all topless. Not the women, just the men. For the Netherlands,
it was unusual hot.
It was a heat wave.
Because
22 degrees.
Like in Canada. In Canada nowadays. Yes, but that atmosphere, there were spectators there, but it wasn't that.
Not the same.
Brilliant. But things will return normal. Normally, to get into the track, we need what? 1 hour or something like this. Now we just drove straight in, so it was pretty easy.
Manuel,
it's the good part.
You were saying just before we started recording that you actually had an opportunity to go down to the track for the first time in a couple of years. Can you tell me what that was like?
Andra, you have to. This is an experience you have to go through, because I haven't been able to go to the track because of these restrictions for the last 2 years. When you go down to the track, Andra, it's what you see on the screen in the TV. It's nothing to do with the reality.
Yeah, you can't describe it, can you? Yep.
Because when you see them so close and how fast they go and the noise, it's like shocking. I have been following them 25, 26 years. But for me, going down there and see it, it's still something that provokes something that no girl can provoke.
It does. It makes you feel all warm and fuzzy downstairs.
I was reflecting on this last week because as our list, I think most of our listeners, unless you've just joined us recently, I have never seen a live race. I have gone from never watching a MotoGP race in my life to in a year and a half, I'm a super fan. So considering that it might be a year or so before I get to a real race, I'm going to completely lose my shit because
I think you will. And I'll be there videoing it.
Oh my God.
No. And I will take a big box of Kleenex
Yeah.
because
we're
you
gonna
will
need
cry. You
we're
will
gonna
cry.
need nappies. We're gonna need tissues. We're gonna need all sorts.
I guarantee you that it's big emotion.
We'll film that. We're gonna have to film
Brilliant.
someone else. Manuel, quick. Sorry, Stu. I'm gonna keep asking
you're right, you
questions quickly. So, Manuel, because this is new to me, can you explain to me? You said you were down near the corner or on the track when Marquez did his big high side on the
Yes,
weekend.
it was Friday. And I went with 2 French journalists on the track, and we were just 3 people on the track, apart from the marshals.
Mhm.
And there I saw Mark's high side.
What does it sound
And
like? Like you hear that?
Well, in this case, it was more a fly than a high side, because it was like,
Mm.
he went
He
up
was
in the
ejected
air
off that thing, wasn't he? Yeah.
Exactly. It was like in a jet fighter, ejected.
Did the electronics fail? What caused it?
Well, he said, look, and I don't want to, how can I explain it in English? I would say that I don't believe 75% of the things that riders say.
Yeah.
And Marquez, you seem it's even higher, right?
No, because there is always an electronic failure. There is always a bump. There is always a
old
humid pad.
The
tires.
tires. Yep.
There is always something.
Yep.
Okay.
Rarely or almost never, it's I did wrong.
Right.
It was a failure here. It was a failure there in the right hand.
Okay.
Okay, Mark, yes. Mark said that it was an electronic failure. And for the first time, I heard him saying that it was the same that happened to him in Jerez when he had that big crash in Jerez. So the first time he said, no, it's similar to what happened to me. And then he explains, he said, look, at this point of the corner, we riders, we ride against the bike. So we put the bike in a situation it doesn't want to be.
Right. They're fighting the forces on the
Yeah,
bike.
no, they are pushing the bike to the limit, over the limit. And they expect, in this point, the electronic jump in and help the riders.
Like
so it's very easy to understand.
Ball.
So they get in, the bike starts to slide, then he just bang, opens the gas, and then he expects the electronic manage the situation and
traction control to do the rest. Yep.
And take him out of this dangerous situation. And he said that it didn't work. So he was ejected.
Yeah. It was like a jet fighter ejected.
And for the first time, I saw Marquez criticizing Honda harshly. He said that this cannot happen because so he was really, normally Marquez tried to be political correct, but this time he was really upset.
I think he's been listening to Paul a little bit. He's learning lessons from Paul that he can say those things and there'll be no consequences. He thinks he needs to.
Look, we have seen high-siding Alex Marquez. We have seen high-siding Paul a couple of times.
Yep.
But as you say, after winning in Germany, Marquez gained the right to whatever he says.
Yep.
He got listened.
Yep.
He's the man again.
The others one may say, Paul Espargaro may say, I will get killed with this bike.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. You didn't win last week, buddy.
Exactly.
So, when you guys are at the track watching a real race, can you hear when other bikes, when they fall without seeing them?
It depends where you are. If it's within a couple of corners of where you are, maybe. But if it's on the other side of the track, no, you really can't hear that.
The noise is incredible. Imagine these 22 bikes on the track.
Yeah.
Does we come out when they go past?
No, but what impresses me is how fast they go.
I can't even.
Because in TV, the camera follows the bike, so you don't realize the speed.
Yeah.
But when you are in a fixed point and you see them come, and it's like, shoo,
yep,
they are gone.
So when you see them racing and they're so close, and you even in that when it doesn't look like they're going so fast, you go, how do they not hit each other? How do
Exactly.
they think
It's
that
insane.
quick? But it's next level.
Yep, it really is.
I'm gonna
On the
cry.
track, sorry, there were all these coaches,
Uh-huh.
the coach of Valentino, the coach of Zarco and some, and they stay at certain corners, and with the mobile phone, they take some images, and then
Okay.
these images they put it on the computer and compare his rider with other riders.
Ah, right. So they're always looking for little bits of intelligence, and they're
because
always working, aren't they?
Yeah, the details are so, because look, if the difference in 5 kilometers is 1/10,
Mm,
so you can't see it with the eyes.
Yep.
With the eye. So you
Exactly.
have to film it and then slow motion and then see, look, you are going here half meter off the line or different than the fastest one. So it's a interesting process.
Yeah, indeed. So, look, let's talk about the result from last week. It was a Yamaha 1-2, first one for the year, first one for quite a while, and with a Suzuki on the bottom step of the podium. Like, fantastic result, obviously, for Fabio. He's really cemented his position at the top. I really can't see anybody else winning the World Championship this year as the way that things are going. But I think the news there for this race, we won't talk about this guy with another circumstance, but the news there was Vinales getting that podium again. It seems like he's back on song a little bit there. And as you said, Manuel, in last week's episode, it's a Yamaha track. It's going to be a Yamaha 1-2. You called it straight away. Were there any real surprises for you, or was this pretty much what you were expecting at the end of the race?
Look, result-wise, it was what expected, okay? The two Yamahas. But here the story is that the rider who did last 7 days before, let's say 6 days before, he did the pole position 6 days later.
Yeah.
And in his words, he didn't change the bike. The same bike he used to finish last was capable to do pole position and finish second on the track. So
the scary thing for me is when they talk, when the media asks him exactly that question and says, why, how, what's going on? He says, I don't know.
But someone said he copied. Someone said he copied Fabio's settings for FP.
No, look, when he arrived on Thursday, he said, okay, this weekend I will race with Fabio's setup down to the last click.
So that was his baseline that he started from.
No. And reading between the lines and in the tone he said this, it was like, I have complained to my team about my last position in Germany, and they have told me, use Fabio's Quartararo setup, who is the one who is winning. So he said, okay, but like this, okay, this weekend I will use Fabio's setup. So
fine.
Then Friday he does first position in FP1, first position in FP2. So at the end of the day, the question was, have you used Fabio's setup? He said, no. I had in the garage two bikes. One, the bike from Germany, with which I finished last, and Fabio's Quartararo setup on the other bike. I used only the bike from Germany.
Wow.
How does that even make sense?
No.
It doesn't.
I don't know, probably mathematics can't explain this. It's not a maths matter.
No, but to have that setting and not do well.
Yeah, I told you, it's because the moon is in a different phase. That's
yeah. That you have to, all the planets have in line or something. The Maverick explains this. His explanation is always the same. As soon as there is traction, I am fast. When there is no traction, I can't ride. Look, I have a channel in YouTube, Pecino GP, I think. I did an interview I watched this morning in 2015 with Maverick Vinales as a rookie in MotoGP.
right.
I did this interview in Sepang. And I asked him, well, how do you expect to do? His answer was, well, if there is traction, I will do well. So this
Hasn't
speech
changed.
of the isn't changed in 6 years. Attraction.
If Pluto
So we-
lines up with Uranus, I'm
So
going
he's
to win.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he's learned nothing in 6 years, is what you're saying, basically. That's
Wow.
I
absolutely
don't
crazy.
know.
Yeah.
Look, and the other interesting things about the two Yamaha 1-2, it's very interesting because the guy who is behind you when he finished the race, without anybody asking him, he said, okay, yesterday Maverick won the pole position round,
Mhm.
but the points are given out on Sunday.
Exactly. Mr. Sunday.
So, like meaning, okay, this means that Quartararo was really touched by Maverick taking the pole position
Hmm.
from him,
Yeah,
you know.
of course.
So he went out and then after the race, he immediately took this out. He
Yep.
won on Saturday, but there are no points on Saturday. Points are today.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I think that for me, the first half of that race was really what I enjoyed watching. Pecco up there with Quartararo, really being able to push him, and it looked like he was going to be competitive for a while there, but then it just looked like a force of nature. He was going to come past him.
You said half of the race. There were 5 laps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 5 laps. Yeah,
So
not
look,
even
but it was so interesting because Fabio was clearly faster than Pecco. But if you have the opportunity to watch the race and you didn't realize, after getting out of the chicane, you just saw from behind how the Ducati pushed the bottom end low.
No.
Then bang. So
It
Fabio,
was insane.
Rest like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so Fabio overtook Bagnaia twice at the entrance of the chicane.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the straight,
Yeah, Pecco just
Ducati
went,
went
okay,
away.
you can have that. Yeah.
So Fabio was understood that if he wanted to escape, he had to overtake before that chicane.
Exactly.
And this is what he did, because
Yeah.
as soon as he got enough meters, just the distance, to arrive at the first corner, heading the race, the race was done. And this is what he did. So very intelligent.
Right.
But Maverick, for example, who started from the pole position, it took him another 10 laps to get second.
And he had a similar battle with Zarco as well, didn't he? With Zarco basically doing the same sort of thing.
But 10 laps. So what happened when he arrived, when he got second in lap 15, Fabio was already gone. So the race was done,
It was
finished.
over 2 seconds by then, wasn't it? The gap. Yeah. It was crazy. And look, I think I was rooting for Miguel Oliveira as well. We love Miguel on this channel. We think and we love KTM, but it seemed like he made his way forwards really well, but then he got up to 5th and he just didn't have any tire left. He just couldn't go forwards anymore. But still a really good result for the KTM.
Yeah, solid. It was a solid race, and once again we saw Mr. Solid Oliveira, who does rarely do a mistake.
Exactly.
He got there. He knew today is 5th is good. He came from 3 podiums plus a 5th. Look, if you look at the last 4 races, I think he has done 76 points. So the rider who has done more points in the last 4 races. It's a shame the start of the season of KTM that the bike was not competitive, but now it's very solid.
Yeah,
very good.
Exactly. And I suppose talking about the other guys that were up there, Mia, obviously a fantastic result for the Suzuki. Do you think Assen is a track that suits the Suzuki as well?
Yes, because last year, if I don't remember bad, Rins did start from the pole position, and Mir, one of the only moments that he started for second row. So it's a Suzuki track. Okay. And this time, once again, Rins had an issue when Zarco aboard.
That was a heavy overtake, wasn't it? I was actually surprised he didn't get a penalty for that, like a long lap penalty.
I agree 100% with this. Zarco, but look, Zarco is most of the time involved in all the issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a consequence, it's the way he writes, you
Mhm.
know? And therefore, I would love to put a microphone in this safety commission meetings they have on Fridays, where
Yes.
probably riders say to each others what they really think. Can
Mhm.
you
Drink every
imagine the
time someone
conversation?
says Jarko's name.
Oh my God,
Have
yeah.
a shot. Yeah.
Well, that'll teach them for getting a homeless guy off the streets and putting him in leathers. Have you seen what Zarko? He looks like they got some 50-year-old homeless guy and just went, here, wear these.
we were having a discussion about his age, and I'm like, nah, he's way older. And then
It
I
could be
looked it up
26.
and I
It
went,
could be 50.
oh my God, I seriously thought he was over 30. Easy.
Yeah. How old is he? Is he 27, 28?
It was like 25, 20. Let me Google.
Oh my,
26, maybe.
that's insane. I honestly thought minimum 33, 34.
Yes.
Yeah. He looks like a San Francisco homeless,
Yes,
There are
exactly. It's
a
insane.
lot of them there.
Sorry, he's 30. He was
There
born
we go,
in
he's
he
30.
was born in 1990.
Oh, geez. All right, cool. Yeah, great. The year I
And,
started
and,
work.
did you hear Joamir after the race talking about Jack?
No, tell us.
No, look how interesting. He said, well, I can imagine that Jack will be upset with me today.
Mm.
Oh, they had another
said-
bump.
Oh,
Yeah,
did they?
but he said,
Yes.
yeah, but he said, I am sorry, but with the bike I have to ride this way to get
Yep.
forward.
Okay.
Fair
And
enough.
he said, with the bike I have, the speed I have, the only way I can overtake is by block passing.
That's
Yes.
right. I do.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Because then,
Yep.
you're
So-
slowing the Ducati's momentum out of the corner as well. If you're block
Yeah,
passing,
block passing, Andra, is very simple.
Yeah.
Block passing is basically you occupy the place or the area where the other rider thinks in going to.
Yeah,
Yep.
Zarko does it all the time. I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, Zarco is different. Zarco come in and hit.
Is that
but
is that what Zarko did to Anaya coming into the grid the other week?
Yeah.
Well, that is I don't know how to call
No,
it.
yeah. No, there's
no,
there's
but yeah.
block
The block
passing,
passing
and then there's being
It's very
inelegant.
interesting.
Yeah.
The block passing is you don't need to be faster than the other guy.
You just got to
You
stop
just
them.
have to get in the place he's going to, and then
Yep.
both have to stop.
Which there must be a
Exactly.
fine line there, because I know that you can't cut off the line of another rider. That's not allowed. But block passing kind of is doing that, isn't it?
Sort of. You're right. There is a difference, and sort of what Zarko did to Rins is, for my opinion, that's over the line. That is
Yeah,
just
no, because if
occupying
I
that
remember
space.
well, what Zarco did, he just switched in the line, but
Mm.
I mean, the other was in the corner, and then he just hit him or pushed him out.
Yeah.
He just
The
pushed
block
him out of the way.
passing is there is a line, and then you simply don't do the line. You do another line,
Mhm.
and then you have to stop the bike to turn it, and this blocks everyone.
It's like a square turn, but you square off the turn.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
but
this-
in doing that, you've stayed inside of the rider you're going around. So you've forced them to go wider and wider and wider. So they're even further off the line. So you've squared them off as well.
Mhm.
So they're having to turn, which means they've got to slow their bike down and go around the corner and go. So with the Ducati, you've slowed the momentum.
And the block passing, there is no need to touch the other rider.
Exactly.
And Zarco touches constantly other riders.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, yes, he does.
Maybe
He
he didn't get
touches them.
hugged enough as a child, so he's got to get.
He craves physical contact,
Oh.
but he's always up there. We talk
Yeah.
about Zarko, and look, for all those watching and listening, there is not one rider on the grid that we don't like. We love all these guys and we
Maybe.
respect them.
Don't
Maybe.
lie.
No, we do. We respect these guys amazingly for what they do. They are so bloody brave every single week going out and doing this. But there are also some riders that we have a bit of a laugh and a joke about now and again. And yes, Zarko is one of those.
I am
He's
a
a bit
Zarko
inelegant
supporter,
for a
though.
French guy.
I do like Zarko.
Yes, yeah, of course we do. And look, like we say, he's up there. He's
Second
he's a
in
bit
the
he's second in the championship. That's right. And he's not lucky to be second in the championship. He's there because he's riding bloody well. He's doing very
And
very well.
he's not doing the mistake. He did a mistake in Portugal, remember?
Yeah.
And he learned the lesson. And now he realizes that when he has to do fifth, he does fifth. When he has to do second, he does second. So he
Exactly.
doesn't get overexcited. And this is called experience.
You know,
Are we
exactly.
going through all the riders, or are we just making special mentions?
No, I think we'll just stick with some special mentions. Realistically, I want to get to talking about the silly season stuff. But I mean, I think for me, they were the key highlights that I saw from the MotoGP race. Andra, anything else that really stood out for you?
Yes, Taka
Taka-san.
finished in 9th. He's been having a bit of a hard time staying on the bike, and he just seems like
He was up there in 2nd and 3rd as well for a long time. He was doing really well.
For a long time.
He just ran out of tire, I think, didn't he?
Yep.
No, he just, at a certain point, he went off the track.
I thought his tires
And
were
then he
wearing
came
out.
back, and then he came back behind Marquez.
Mm-hmm.
And he will never in his life overtake Marquez. Never.
Because he can't.
Can't overtake the boss.
Or he
Because
won't.
of creating an issue, creating a problem, because of respect, call it
Really?
whatever. But yeah, forget
exactly.
it.
Kick your grandma over and run her over.
That's
as Remy
it.
says.
Got to have the mongrel.
Yeah, but this guy was born somewhere down there.
Yeah.
And
Respect.
and Taka was born a little bit more in the north.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
Wow.
Manuel, what about you? Anybody else that really stood out for you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have to super underline Marc Marquez.
Yeah.
Remember, he started 20th,
All the way back there. Yeah.
third last, after
Mhm.
2 crashes, one on Friday, another one on Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the first lap, look, when he went out, he told his team, guys, I don't know if I'm going to finish the first lap.
Wow. Because he's just going to.
He took 7 riders, 7.
Yes, into the first corner. He just dive bombed.
So that's why he said, and then 7, this is position 13.
Mm-hmm.
And then along the race, he finished 7th.
Yep.
So, fantastic performance. His lap times at a certain point were the same that the head of the race. So in the race, he could have pointed for podium, I'm sure. This means, in my opinion, that after the summer, we will have 100% Marc Marquez back.
Juicy. Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Is Fabio having some trouble? There was a mention about his right arm.
Where he had arm pump surgery.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, he had arm pump, but he said, strange. He said that he had problems on the triceps. You call triceps?
Yeah, triceps. Okay, wow.
Triceps
from all the golf swinging.
But this is something I have never heard. And he said because there are a lot of change direction with the gas open in Assen, and this creates an enormous need of strength, because
I was going to say the force and the pressure of doing that
when you
with
are
that
gas
momentum.
open, and you change you try or you pretend to change the direction, the bike is pushing. You're just fighting against the other way you are going, and this at 200
the force of the engine turning.
This is you need to put a lot of power to do this, and for a whole race.
We do have to mention his golf swing at the end.
Oh
though. That was bloody hilarious. I saw his golfing things on social media. Did he go play golf with Alex Lowe's?
Yeah.
And that was funny enough. And then it was like, oh my God, you're not. And you see the ball heads towards the track while there's people still going around.
I saw that. I was like, oh my God. Safety. I think that gets our first face palm of the week for that one by itself. So Fabio, this guy here, just for your really bad golf swing and endangering the safety of others. Yay! There you go. And I know we've got another one coming up as well. So, all right, let's move on to Moto2. We'll just very briefly mention again KTM killing it in Moto2. Remy and Raul, it really is the R&R show.
Dream team.
Dream team. Another great performance from both of them, don't you reckon, Manuel?
Yeah. No, both are in another galaxy. In fact, they are making the races boring, because
Yeah, it was
some
good to see the VDS guys up there and having a bit of a fight. I'd love to see more of that.
Yep.
some Lowe's has clearly slowed down or controlled his performance on track, and it seems that now his mission is finishing races. Because
Yes.
his DNF has his how do you say uh, his DNF for this season have been completed already.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can't afford to have any more. Exactly.
And
And
between, sorry, I just want to underline,
Mhm.
¿cómo se dice?
he
what he
just
said.
degenerated back into Spanish.
No, because just being with two Aussies like Remy,
Yes.
I want to underline, I think I said it the other day. You know that Remy signed in Germany a plate with
Mhm.
200 Grand Prix in Moto2,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
200, no?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Raul has 9.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's insane.
It's not because he's Spanish. It's just casual.
Are you having a shot at Australians here, or
Yeah.
are you just making a?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Oh, the line's really bad, Manuel. Oh no. Oh, terrible.
I hear you.
And
They're
for
gonna-
all
gonna
those
make
fans
a-
of the show, I just want to quickly say that Jake finished 18th as well. He's a very good fan of the show. There are some rumors going on about him that we will talk about later on. And Sam finished in 4th. Sorry.
No, I was
Andrew,
just going
go
to
for it.
say that Raul and Remy are going to make a nice team in MotoGP, I believe.
Yeah, let's talk a bit more about
I
that.
think you are, in words of Raul, you are 90% wrong.
Yeah, no, but that's my opinion.
Ooh, here we go. Here we go. And Digia, who we know is going to be in the top class next year, had a DNF, as did Joe Roberts. I was really sad to see JR go down.
I wanted to cry for him. He just cannot cut a break.
He can't, can he? It was shocking. It was shocking. Okay, let's move on quickly. Moto3. Dennis Foggia, another great result from Dennis Foggia. But before we talk about the race, what the hell was happening in FP3? Did you see any of that, Manuel? Was there much talk about those guys going over the line? The checkered flag was already out. The lap didn't even count, and they were still racing to try and get a fast lap in. Came around the last chicane.
The crash.
Someone took out Pedro Acosta and then ran over the top of him, and he spent the night in hospital.
Did he fall off, or did someone hit him?
It was Acosta who responsible of the accident.
Right. Okay.
Damn. Adam and I argued about this all weekend, and he was like, that was unsafe and that was his fault. And I was like, nope, he didn't do anything wrong. I'm sure that it was someone else. And now he's going to listen to this and go, Manuel said, and I'm going to have to say that I was wrong.
All right.
Yes.
Was there much of a throwback for that?
He got too hot in the checkered flag has already went down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he got too hot in that chicane without need, and he
why were they going so fast?
But they were all doing it. There was a whole group of 6 or 7 of them. The checkered flag was out when they went over the line that last time, and they all kept racing. Again, this comes down to race direction. They get halfway around that lap. They can see those guys are still on the gas. You need to put a red flag out there and stop those guys.
Claro. Yeah, but and he was not even penalized, no?
No, nothing. None of them were. Realistically, if that was me in race direction, the lot of them start the race from pit lane.
Yeah.
All right, I have another issue with race direction.
Go on.
Darren Binder.
Oh.
Why the bloody hell did he lose? Why did he lose 3 places? Was it? I'm still confused what happened. I think he went out of the track limits on the last lap, which didn't.
Yeah.
And the way he did it, there was no benefit. He didn't get in front of anyone, and you just saw him drop 1 position, 2 positions, 3 positions. If I was him, I would have told him to get fucked and walked out.
Yep. You know what?
I think
what happened?
I think he did it. I think you could read in his lips something.
Yeah, he told
like
the camera.
Yeah, he looked at the camera. He's like,
Why 3? What on earth? Why?
You know
3
why?
spots?
Because when when they look down at the magic 8 ball that they had that makes
I was
decisions
waiting
for
for a
them,
serious answer then.
and they shook it, it said 3 positions. That's
That was bullshit.
yeah, it was.
No,
Absolute
yeah,
bullshit.
that was.
Yeah.
He's so
know.
unfair, so unfair, and
Yep.
he's not having luck this season because he started like one of the candidates for the title, clear candidates,
Mhm.
but he has had so many
He's
issues.
riding.
Oh.
He's riding so well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you have a look at the things that have happened, as you say, Manuel. It's been bad luck. It's been not
Yeah.
his fault. It's been a terrible season. I think at least he knows that. He must know that. All he can do is control those things around him that are within his control, and don't worry about the rest. So yeah, and look for Pedro, spent the night in hospital. I didn't think he was even going to make it to the race.
Hang on, he's on the track.
Yeah, he didn't even make qualifying. So he started from the back of the grid somewhere and finished where?
Fourth.
Oh my god, absolutely crazy. So yeah,
I think
really,
Maverick.
really good.
I reckon Maverick should go to Moto2 with Pedro Acosta and learn from him how to ride a bike.
There we go. Yep, give him some training wheels. There we go. And in the world standing in Moto3, he's still 48 points ahead, but Foggia and Garcia are getting closer. So that's come the end of the season. That's going to be really interesting, I think.
Yeah, that bike of that Leopard team
Mm.
is so fast.
Oh yeah.
On fast tracks, it's a
Yep.
winning bike because
Yep.
there is no other
Ask
bike.
Mir about
I
that.
was going to say, well, Massia did better on that bike last year than he's doing on his bike this year.
Massia.
He came
but
20th, by the way.
Massia's problem is number 37.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's in there. He's in there.
Yep.
Like Maverick's problem is number 20.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. Okay,
Poor
look,
Massia.
let's before we get too deep into anything else, let's yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's cool.
Let's do this. Let's
Oh my
talk
God,
about
where
this
do you
stuff.
start?
Oh, exactly. Where do you start? So, look, realistically, there are things that we know, aren't there, Manuel? There are decisions that have been made. There are some moves. We know that seat's open now. We know that Vinales is not going to be at Yamaha Monster Energy team anymore. We know that the new Grazzini team is going to be Bastia and Digia. We know there's no change at LCR. We know there's no change at Ducati Course. We know.
Hang on.
Whoa! I've gone too far. I've gone too far. All right.
Okay, put in brackets Ducati. Continue with the rest. Why?
Oh, all right. So
What?
KTM factory KTM team. We know that's going to be as is. We know bigger. Jesus. All right. We think we know. So we think we know. I'm a bit apprehensive now for all of these.
I think we should stop.
Yeah. Well, we think we know that the HRC factory team is going to be the same. Man.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah, sure.
Who wants to go there? Who wants to go there?
Oh my
Nobody.
God, exactly. That's why. Also, LCR and HRC, they're the only ones that are set, pretty much. Yeah, Suzuki, don't even get me started. That is not fixed.
I have
no
a
way
smell.
is that fixed.
I have a smell that something may change at the blue team.
Yeah, exactly. Yamaha again. Yep. That's not right. No, that's all over the place. Once we come over here, Pramac, as all my information tells me, that's still correct as well. Yep. That will stay. And we know that Remy is going to be at the Tectoire team. So, Manuel, El Jefe. Oh my God. Where do we start? Oh, also the VR46 team. So I think they're 99% certain it will be Luca Marini and Marco Bezzecchi. Does that sound right to you?
Valentino Rossi.
I see that the broccoli is growing a lot down under.
So, well, first question: VR46 Aramco team. Who do you see there next year?
Look, to try to understand this puzzle, how do you call it in English?
Yeah.
Puzzle.
Yep.
There is one. Yes.
Do you ever play? Do people in Europe play pin the tail on the donkey? Is that a game all over the world?
Pin the tail on the donkey.
You get a picture of a donkey. You put a blindfold on. You get the tail, and you go up to it blindfolded, and you put the tail where you think it needs to go. Is that how they pick the teams?
That's basically what they do. They just have a rider and a blindfold, and they go thunk, thunk, thunk.
Sorry,
And
continue, Manuel.
with which tail?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Which
Whose
rider?
tail are they using?
So go on, Manuel.
Okay, so to understand what's going on is impossible. And things that are happening in this moment may not get
Exactly. Yep.
done.
Yeah,
But
because
they
things are in discussion. They're in
yeah.
flux at
Look,
the moment.
when I start, you will understand. The most important thing is to understand that the one who has provoked this tsunami is Maverick Vinales
Yes.
by canceling the contract he has with Yamaha, but for 2022.
Question.
So we will continue him racing this year.
He's under contract for an extra year. Does someone have to pay Yamaha out? Like, is there a lot of financial? Do they just go, right, cut off, off you go, and they save 5 million euros or whatever? Or does someone have to pay it out?
Look, the official, there is no official version, but I can imagine that it has been agreement. Maverick has resigned after he says that after what happened in Germany, it was a disaster. He doesn't trust anymore. He doesn't trust that Yamaha can give him what he needs to get to one champion, right?
Yep.
So he asked Yamaha to quit that contract. Yamaha, obviously, the only thing that what they can do is applause.
Yeah.
Because Maverick has the second highest contract in the
Is someone else?
paddock.
No one else is going to pay him that much, are they?
No, but he doesn't care. It's not about money.
Okay.
So he gave up a contract that is, I would say, between around 8 million a year. He just gave it away. And
Nice
it's not, Maverick is not acting like thinking in money, not at all.
Yep.
Okay. So he says he quits, and now all the speculations start. Right? To where he's going to. The first option was Aprilia.
Yep.
Up there, yes. And it's interesting. My question is, if Maverick leaves Yamaha because he says that Yamaha has not been capable to give him what he needs to win, and we are talking about Yamaha, do you think or can be expected that Aprilia has
not a world championship winning bike in 2022?
Okay, then continue with Aprilia. Aprilia, in my opinion, has a big interest in having Maverick. Why? You know that Aleix and Maverick were teammates here in the Suzuki team in the past.
Yes, of course they were, weren't they?
They were.
Yep.
And being teammates, Maverick was always much faster than Aleix. If I was Aprilia, I would say, hang on, Maverick is clearly faster. If we bring in-house Maverick, we will have Aleix's result improved by a much better rider. And this means starting to in top 5 every race.
Yep.
This could be the thinking, right? I think that if I were Aprilia manager, I would think in that way. Okay, option Aprilia. I can tell you, look, what I tell you will sound science fiction, but it's absolutely true. Tuesday, yes, it's like, it's a broccoli situation.
It's probably spot on though, so keep going.
Tuesday, Madrid. This guy who is talking went to a cafeteria to have a coffee in Madrid downtown. And suddenly I hear two guys behind me on the, how do you say, very well dressed with a tie, you know, like executivos, no?
Yes, businessman, yep.
Businessman, well, very cool business. The opposite of a biker.
No, so not like Zarco.
Yeah, like more or less. So I was there taking my cappuccino, and suddenly I hear two guys behind me talking about Rins and Vinales. So suddenly my radar, you know, is like, I just was looking there, but every time closer to this guy. So these guys were for Monster. Stu.
Yeah. Yep.
Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Rins is a monster rider, and here they are monster rider. Do you see the monster of Rins?
Yep. He's got it just there. Yep. That's it.
They were talking about swapping places, Rins and Vinales for next year.
Did they have any idea they were sitting near a MotoGP journalist?
Clearly not.
Obviously. Now I realize that I should have taped it on my iPhone, but I didn't.
Talking to this.
So they were talking now because Maverick, he would like to go to Suzuki.
Back to Suzuki. Yep.
It's an option where when he left Suzuki, he felt sad because he left Suzuki saying that he wanted to go to a winning bike team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the door were always open. So the monster people were talking about switching the two riders. So what did I do? I phoned to Suzuki.
Yep.
Immediately.
Yeah. And you went, hang on, here, you guys talk to this.
So I told them, look, I know I didn't explain them the situation because it would have sounded weird. But I know, I said, hey, I know that in Monster, there is a talk about switching riders. And then they said, we don't know nothing. I said, okay, you don't know, but I know. So they said to me, no, probably they didn't know. They said to me, but in any case, Monster has not the right or the power, nor in Suzuki, nor in Yamaha to do this operation. Okay, that's right. It's the team that decides. But this situation is in the air, you know?
Yeah, it's still an option.
It's got them talking now. Like you say, it's in the air. It's up there now. It's been started by somebody. It might have been started by those Monster Energy guys, but it's out there now.
And then the third option is Maverick moving to Ducati.
Yes.
I tell you something.
This team?
I tell you something. Look, I did a long interview with Gigi Dall'Igna last weekend. Fantastic interview, by the way. And one of the things we talked about was the Jorge Lorenzo experience in Ducati. And I'd ask him, Gigi, you were disappointed that the project failed? He said, of course. He said to me, look, how pragmatic, you know the word pragmatic?
Yep.
Okay. How pragmatic Gigi Dall'Igna thinks. He said to me, look, we took Lorenzo because we were not able to take the fastest guy. So we went to the second fastest guy.
Very cool.
Okay. And then he explained me the situation. But following this thinking, if you go to Ducati, they have 6 riders. Just one of them has won a Grand Prix. Who is Jack?
Jack, yep.
Bagnaia hasn't won the MotoGP Grand Prix. Zarco hasn't won, and the other rookies you can imagine. Yeah. So in Gigi Dall'Igna way of thinking, now he has the opportunity to take probably the third fastest guy on the grid. The fastest is Mark, the second is Fabio, and I would put Vinales with all his mental stories, but as a rider, he's number 3, clearly.
Yep.
So if he's free, why don't do an effort to get him in? And to this, I add the following. Davide Brivio has told me 1 million times when we have spoken about Vinales, he said to me many times, if Vinales were in Ducati, we would make him be up there every weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a champion, I don't know, but be more consistent, you know, because they said, no, because we are a family, because we know that. And this is the situation. So at this point, you know, we don't know what Marquez is going to do, but he has all these options open.
So there's obviously a lot of political things at play, and he's going to get different offers and things. So
look, because another thing, if he goes to Ducati, where do you think he would go?
It's got to be that team, hasn't it? That's where the spot is. Or do they shift Jorge Martin to here and put him in Pramac.
On your right, on your right.
Over here?
Really?
Really?
I
you
ask
move,
you something.
You move Bagnaya over here, do you? And then put him in there with Jack.
No. Who is the manager of Pecco Bagnaia?
Oh, right. Okay.
Who is the manager of Pecco Bagnaia?
Is it the same guy who's the manager of Vinales, is it?
I don't know, but will he go to VR46?
No.
Isn't he a VR46 dude?
He's a VR46 rider.
Yeah.
So would he shift over here then?
And leave Bezecchi for another. That's where, and if we can go to that now with Bezecchi, there's with a lot of this is quite high possibility that he won't come up. Has he signed his contract?
Bezecchi has not. He's not the owner of his future.
No, and that's where, like, obviously, then if he doesn't get signed next year, that they then have the possibility of losing him to someone else the year after. But that's too far ahead.
Pecco Bagnaia, Luca Marini, Franco Morbidelli, and they are 46. Their future is not. They are just. They are just a card that we put in here. You put in there.
Yeah.
You know, you understand?
Yep.
So everything is messed up. Then we go down to Yamaha.
Yep.
Okay. Morbidelli has signed already with Yamaha for 2022. So you have to put this 21, you have to push up and put in alongside Fabio Quartararo.
That's the one thing I really hope does come to fruition.
So
that would be shit if that didn't.
So now in the green team you have on your right, they need to look for 2 riders.
Who?
There have been a lot of talks. You know, Jake Dixon is a
Is that real though, or I mean, his results don't really seem to.
He needs to do results. He needs to do results. Jake is a special request from
BT Sport.
Yeah.
He's not knocking the door down though, is he?
He needs to do results, so he has half of the season. And it's if there's results come in this half of the season, nobody will remember the first half of the season.
Yeah,
true.
I need to win one race, and that changes for him, doesn't it? But then, if they
who else? Yeah, let's say they put Jake in there. Who else?
It's got to be someone up there. That you can't put someone that's okay for that level, and then put someone else that's okay for that level.
So would that be a Rins move? Maybe.
I don't think so. I would say they have been, because Petronas has said very clearly that they will return to their policy of building up young riders.
Darren Binder.
There are a lot of talk. Darren Binder, no.
Why not?
all the way from Moto3 to MotoGP straight away.
Jack Miller did that, didn't he?
Jack Miller, yeah.
No, but this won't happen. No, but look, there you can put the names. There is a long list. You know, Gerloff, no?
Gerloff,
yeah. Gerloff did very well, and he's American, so it's an interesting passport for the show.
Yep.
The Turkish guy, which name you only can pronounce.
Toprak Razgatlioglu.
No, he's signed with World Superbikes.
He's off the list now. That's right.
What about Chavi? What about Chavi?
Chavi's too old to come into MotoGP.
Chavi who?
Chavi Vieje. Yeah, exactly. He won't.
Look, let me tell you something. Raul Fernandez. Raul Fernandez got an offer from Yamaha, 2 years contract plus 1.
Wow. Okay.
The offer was first year in Petronas team, second year in the factory team. Raul Fernandez got an offer from Aprilia. 2 years contract. First, the idea was to put him on Gresini team, who was supposed to be Aprilia, but has signed with Ducati. When they realized that, they offered him the same alongside Aleix Espargaro.
That empty seat there. Right. Okay.
Raul Fernandez.
What about Dovi?
Hang on. Let me go I
want all the answers now.
Yes.
Okay. So what happened? Raul had the offer from Aprilia, from Yamaha, and then KTM get very much upset.
Mm-hmm.
So they went to the head of the championship and told him, look, this can't happen. We invest so much in young riders, so much. We have this rookie cup. We have
Mhm.
So
we
they
have
went straight
our
to
own bikes
Carmelo.
in Moto3. Exactly. So at the end, there was Stu a gentleman agreement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't know that
Dad,
they
they're
call
in the
it.
playground hurting
No,
me.
when somebody pushes, I don't know that. I didn't know that they call it gentleman agreement. You know.
Yeah, yeah, gentleman. Yeah.
Leave
Not
Raul
very gentle.
alone.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the end, Raul he said that he wants to stay another year in Moto2. He said himself, 99% I'm going to stay in Moto2, but I have to talk with KTM this summer.
But
Right.
the idea of-
Manuel,
Yeah. Is it still going to happen? Like, what's your feeling?
but Manuel, you just made comments before about Bezecchi and other riders that they don't actually have control of where they go. Why does Raul get control of
Mm.
choosing to stay? Or is it because he's not affiliated with that specific group?
No. But look, no. Look, this situation in VR46 is very complicated.
Okay, so
you know,
that's the difference.
Because look, you will understand.
Very
Petronas,
mafioso.
now Petronas, when they were negotiating with Valentino Rossi at last winter, his teammate was managed by the same person,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Valentino. So, do you think that this person would fight for Morbidelli?
Mm.
Get better stuff than for
his other guy.
Valentino.
Oh,
No
yeah,
way.
yeah,
So he
exactly.
was like the second plate. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
happens with all. And again, this guy who is Pecco Bagnaia, he should go to the team of his boss. Why don't they? Why
Yeah.
isn't this an idea? Because VR46 gets money from Pecco's contract. So if he gets out of this factory team and goes to VR46, they
get all the money.
lose income.
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
what? So
It is extremely complicated.
very much
Right.
so super complicated.
Okay. So you mentioned Raul, and I'm saying I said over here, I thought he was penciled in. He's been saying he doesn't want to go to MotoGP next year.
Look, he
But
said
the
very
pressure,
clear, 99%, because he has
pressure of his
asked.
performances, though, surely he has to. By the end
He
of
has
this year,
asked because KTM wanted to put him alongside Remy.
Yep.
But he said, I have asked to stay one more year. This is good because what happened at the end of next year? All the contracts
yep.
open, all of them.
Of course.
So then he has the option. Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki.
if he wants to stay at KTM, he can go to the factory team.
Everything.
So can you tell me just quickly, so generally do they sign for, is it a 2-year period, or how
Yes.
come it's okay, so they all sign for that 2 years?
All know the top riders.
Okay.
Ducati, for example, has signed all these riders for 1 year.
Mhm.
And then they have the option to renew, but the option is on Ducati side.
Okay.
Right.
But
Yep, okay.
a top rider, he demands to have 2 years.
Yeah. As they.
True. Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So tell me, Manuel, if not Raul sitting next to Remy, who?
And do they only
Is-
sign them for 12 months because they're going to
Does-
anticipate
yeah,
Raul going up
Does
there the year after?
Petrucci stay there, or do they?
Bravo.
Really?
I thought that it was not an option, but yesterday night, somebody told me that it could be an option, Petrucci staying another year.
I think that'd be fantastic. It'd be a shame if we lost Petrucci out of the paddock.
Mhm.
And I tell you more, because look, Andrade, they all work in not long term, but medium term.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know that KTM has 2 test riders. One
Yep.
is Pedrosa and the other is Mika Kallio. Mika Kallio is already 39
Wow.
and he's starting to be slow.
Yep.
So I heard that Petrucci could be an option as a test.
Nice. So maybe do 1 more year racing and then move straight into testing.
More things about Andrea Dovizioso,
Yes.
right? Andrea has decided that he wants to race.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Right there.
Well, that's
The problem is the Aprilia is competitive. The Aprilia is showing to be fast, but Dovi wants, his decision is more linked to the project, the complete project.
Right.
Example, you know that the Aprilia has concessions, right? They can test how much they want. So Dovi wants guarantees that Aprilia has enough resources to take profit of this concession so they can catch up like KTM
Nice.
did.
Well, yeah, I was going to say do a KTM. Yeah.
Yeah, for example, he said, but he asked Aprilia, do you have enough resources, for example, to build 3 different engines along a season to catch up? Do you have resources to build a proper test team with a white check to test? So it's not only to ride the bike, it's what behind.
Yeah. So they really have to look at the holistic implications of signing Dovi. It's not just paying him a contract. It's all the other stuff that's going to have to go along with it, which is going to cost a lot more than just that one contract.
But because Dovi looks at the project, and Aprilia has to look at what KTM did.
Yeah.
How fast they come. KTM started in the championship in 2017. It was before yesterday, more or less, in racing.
Pretty much.
You know? And what did they, money investing, but now they are getting what they put in.
Yep, they're reaping the rewards, exactly.
So I'm trying to work out where could Dovi go?
Dovi, I see him more if Aprilia fulfills what he's asking for as a test rider in Aprilia.
Oh, for sure.
I know his manager, who is a snake, immediately when he understood what was going on in Yamaha, he went to see the Yamaha guys.
Right. Okay.
And offered Dovi for 1 year. The year where 22, he said, look, and he sold perfectly Dovi. He told him, look, you have a mature rider, you have a rider that can help you to develop the bike, a rider that maybe guarantee you a stable performance. He will not win, but you
top
will
5,
not have
top 6.
Exactly, this up and down. So look how messy everything is. So confusing.
Crazy. Yeah.
And this is going on at the same time. For example, this with Dovizioso offering himself to Yamaha. Probably it won't happen, but it's happening.
Yep. And the last thing I think you said as well, you think there might be something going on down here as well, do you?
Yeah, look, I feel strange. I feel strange that
you're right.
that Oliveira hasn't renewed
There's
his contract.
been some. I mentioned this last time we recorded because he won. Did he win? And there wasn't, or second. And
when he won.
Oh, when he won, and there was
nothing whatsoever. It was all talking about Binder.
It was weird.
Yeah, something there we don't understand. Maybe, I don't know if they are talking about the contract because he has won already. He's a top rider, and strange. And strange also is the lack of results of Brad Binder.
Yeah, that's been really, really weird. He's just really fallen off a cliff, hasn't he? Strange.
I don't know. And I have sincerely not spoken with him in the last races, so I don't know what's going on, but it's strange. It's strange that his teammate, every time they have been together, they have been more or less equal, the same level.
Yeah.
And suddenly Oliveira has boom.
Exactly. So look, we're just about out of time. Anything else you think you need to mention around here, or you think we've pretty much hit the nail on the head with all the movements? Andra, go for it.
Valentino Rossi.
Clearly. No Valentino Rossi anywhere.
Look, have you read about the mess that is going around with Aramco?
No, really.
Aramco is the Saudi
prince
petrol company,
oil,
right?
Yep.
Oil. The biggest company on the stock market in New York.
Mm-hmm.
the most highest value. So it's not just a corner business, on the corner.
Yeah. They've got some
So-
money.
So look at the story. In Italy, it's a big issue, and everybody is waiting, and none of the people involved are saying anything. What has happened? When came out that Aramco, did you see the picture that making official that the VR46 team official, right?
With the bike
Then,
and the Aramco. And
yeah, and Aramco. So suddenly, a colleague, a journalist from France Press, that is a big agency,
Mm-hmm.
France Press got an email from Aramco UK saying, we want you to cancel this information, and you have to take it off your website, and we exigir, how do you say, we demand, no, we really push, and we want you to write that Aramco is not involved with the Team 46, and we have no interest at all in MotoGP.
Wow. And yet the name is still clearly there. Yeah. Holy cow.
Came from Aramco has two offices in the world. One is in Saudi Arabia, and the other one is in England.
So you think they might have jumped the gun a bit, that this might be still in negotiation?
Look at the story. So Aramco said, we want an official statement that we are not involved in MotoGP, and we don't have any agreement with VR46. Everyone's shocked. Then comes another statement from Tanal Enterprises.
Right. Yep.
Tanal Enterprises, it's a Saudi company that organizes the sport events.
Yep.
He said, no. There is an agreement with Valentino VR46 and the Prince, blah, 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 has an agreement and so on.
Yep.
Look what happened. So everything is so crazy. Just casual, the CEO of Aramco was in Assen as a spectator, invited by the Pramac people who had met him in the Formula 1 race in Monaco.
Right.
Look how it works. Look, so Pramac has a certain presence also in the Formula 1, and there was the CEO of Aramco. I have his name somewhere written, and he was at the track, and he knew about this story. So he went to Dorna and said, "Look, we are not involved."
Wow.
CEO of Aramco, not the office boy, So then the answer is but the prince says that he is involved.
Yeah.
And the answer of the guy was, do you know how many princes we have in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, exactly. They're like rocks.
They email me all the time.
80, 800, whatever.
Yeah.
So, there is a super confusing situation of press releases once against another. But Stu, nobody of VR46 has said anything. Nobody of Dorna has said anything. The prince.
Yeah.
So if communication-wise, this situation would have been solved if on Monday a statement, the prince.
Yeah.
Yes, we are this and VR46. Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody has said a word.
Wow.
Dorna has not said a word. And when they announced that agreement, the photo was Ducati, Carmelo Espeleta, and the other guy from VR46. So at this moment in Italy, it's like, what's going on? Valentino said about this, he said, well, I have spoken with the prince at least 8 times. Last time on Thursday in Assen. I hope he has not cheated me.
So things could still change, because if they can't get that Aramco sponsorship dollars, who does VR46 team go? Like they can't bring the team.
what I read in this story is that is much more just a wish, or I want this from the prince.
Right. So you think the VR46 side of things, maybe not Valet himself, but someone in the management, you think they're pushing this out there to see what the reaction is to try and promote Aramco to get them over the line?
No. They are caught with the trosses down. They didn't realize
right.
what there was going on.
They've gone off too
So,
early.
Yes. So at the end, something.
Whoop.
Look, there are things
Whoop.
that, very sorry, I can tell public.
Yep.
Because
All good.
I have.
That's okay. You're just talking to us. It's fine.
No. Because I have a head, and I want my head still be
Yes.
on my shoulder. You know,
Yeah, good move.
I don't want to be chopped away.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Good. Yeah, let's leave it there. That's a fantastic place to leave things, Manuel. It's been absolutely amazing. Again, such an insight, and this is why, for all those listeners and viewers out there, when I say at the beginning of these podcasts and vodcasts, this is where we get inside the master, the genius, his brain hole, or where we get past the hype and get straight to what's going on in the paddock. This is what I'm talking about, everybody. This is real, genuine insight that you're not going to get from anywhere else. Thank you so much, mate. Andra, any other points? Sorry, go on, Manuel. Yep.
Yeah, no, I want to say, look, this is maybe the gray part of racing, okay? Because racing fans, what they want to see is what goes on the track, and this is the politics. But at the end,
this is the fun
in
stuff.
this case, is something that has to put out for people understand things that may be understandable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly.
Because I love this sport. So for me, what is not nice, I don't want to transmit to people, because people should approach MotoGP as something to have fun, to relax, to take away their problems, But this is something a little bit weird politics that has to be explained.
Business.
Not down to the bottom, but at least to have a look at the picture.
That's right. Yep. We'll just dip our toe in.
And I do love how Manuel was telling us at the start that after how many years, 25, 30 years doing what you do, that you can still walk down beside that track and those bikes take your breath away.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
Like you say,
Goosebumps.
I think
goosebumps.
Yeah, goosebumps. Exactly. I think Andra said it best when she says a little bit of wee came out.
I just want to go to Phillip Island.
I know. I just want to see this. All this kind of
Wow, what
stuff.
a photo. What a photo.
It's a great picture. Look at that. That's amazing. Who wouldn't want to spend a weekend with that? Absolutely incredible. All right, guys. Look, thank you so much for your time again today, Manuel. It's been absolutely incredible. Andrew, before we go, have you got some messages for the viewers and the listeners?
I do, but I'm very quickly, because I want to see you hit yourself in the head again. I'm going to do another face palm of the week that I didn't tell everyone last week because I was a little bit embarrassed.
I'll line it up.
I can associate this to MotoGP, because we all know that Rins had a little accident on his bicycle because he was staring at his phone and rode into a parked truck. And again, my husband and I had discussions about it because I said he was a dickhead and should have, he's a professional athlete, should have watched where he's going. Well, I went on holiday a couple of weeks ago and I was walking through the main street of Bunbury City in Western Australia. And I was staring at my phone and I actually thought someone had hit me, but I had walked into a pole. I dropped my phone. My glasses fell off. I almost fell over. And these people were behind me. They're like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm a dickhead." And I messaged my husband and he's like, "How do you feel about what Rins did now?" And I said, "Nope, he's a dickhead and I'm a dickhead."
And I'm a dickhead too. Well, yes, Andra, most definitely for that one. You do get my second face palm of the week.
And that's why I told that story. I just like to see Stu hit himself. But
thanks.
other than that, I wanted to give a big shout out to Komu, she listens every week. She's one of Yasha's friends, and big hello to her. I think I mentioned before, she does up a poster each week of the races and puts a lot of the records. I'm going to ask her if we can share one, because it's
for sure.
I'm learning so many things from these people. It's fantastic and making great friends across the world. Our YouTube's been going off these last few weeks, so please keep messaging and keep sharing and go through and look at some of the old recordings. We've got some great chats we've done with Darren Binder, Remy, Jake Dixon, Sam Lowe's, Jack Miller. Who else?
Indeed.
I feel like we've spoken. And we've got a few of those coming up again too over the summer break. We'll have some more catch ups.
We do too. Yeah, I just wanted to mention quickly. So we do have a 5-week break coming up now, but we are going to be dropping a few more episodes throughout that break. We're booking in some chats with some of our good friends, and hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe 1 or 2 new ones. Who knows? But in the meantime, make sure you like, subscribe, hit us up on the socials. Make sure you hit that notification bell, and get out there in the beautiful summer sunshine in the northern hemisphere and get riding your bikes. Keep an eye on what's going on in MotoGP. Manuel, I hope you have an incredible holiday, mate. We'll talk to you again over the next few weeks. But until then, get out in the sunshine, mate, and go for a ride.
Yeah, look, I would tell our listeners to put an X on next Tuesday. Something is going to come out next Tuesday, so we will probably meet next Wednesday to talk about something.
Are you coming out in your bathers, Manuel?
It's going to be a photo of Manuel in a mankini.
like Borat.
Yeah, indeed. Cool. Sorry. All right. Thank you so much, guys. It's been absolutely incredible. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye. Adios. Adios.
What's up, race fans, and welcome to another episode of the Pecino Report. No, stop. Try that again. Yep.
Oh, that was beautiful.
All right. Try it again.
You got to put that at the end.
All right. Yeah. What's a report?